Hello, everybody. All right, hello, everybody. This is going to be Prey. We probably saw the any % run back at AGDQ. This is going to be a little bit different. And I believe the female protagonist choice was in the lead.
Yes, by about $1,400.
All right.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to have time start once I gain control of the character, so I'll be able to give you a countdown in just a few seconds.
Should we do a roll call, LifeL1ke?
Sure.
So I am Covert Muffin.
I'm Blood Thunder. This is Psycho Ripper.
Yeah.
And Metro 72 over here. And that's LifeL1ke.
That's LifeL1ke.
Monday, March 15th,
Wait, that's Morgan.
2032.
Sorry.
Morgan works.
Such a good intro.
Yeah.
All right, so normally this game, when we do runs, we start right after this cutscene for a couple of reasons. One is that it's just kind of annoying to restart from and watch that cutscene every time you reset. The other is that, well, I'll talk about that in a second. If we're ready, we can start the time in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the other reason we normally start from a save file is because certain items in this opening area are randomly determined that I'm going to have to loot, and those are determined at file creation. So there's a chance that in just a second I'm going to have to load a backup save if I don't get the right item that I need, because I need it pretty early on. Another thing I'm going to have to point out right away is that while this is a no out-of-bounds run, that's not quite the same as a no clipping run. So
Makes sense to me.
there's definitely a reason that I'm stacking chairs in the corner of this elevator.
I thought you were just redecorating.
Yeah,
It's pretty good at it.
Yeah, wow.
almost.
Well, that was close.
All right, so the reason this clip is allowed in no out of bounds is because your character never actually goes out of bounds. We just go from one side of that wall to the other, and that skips about 9 minutes worth of the intro. So it's a pretty good time save. So now I get to check this body over here. Hopefully it has a wrench. There's a 50-50 chance it either has a wrench or an apple.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to load up a backup save, because I need that to be a wrench. All right, so don't need to worry. This is also going to be the female character still.
Yeah, there's a lot of different runs that use kind of the same idea. They need something at the start of the run. Like any % needs high hypos that you get from a locker.
All right, so here I am. This one has the wrench, so we're good to go.
Hello, Morgan.
So right away, I've got another little skip here.
My code name is January.
I'm just going to kind of wedge myself into this wall.
What happened yesterday was real.
Not quite.
If you want to know what's going
There
on,
we go.
first,
So that skips a minor cutscene where that door locks me in.
not safe.
It's not a huge time save, but it's still nice.
Good. You're in the simulation lab.
Yeah, I'm like normally there. He has to watch this guy take a very painful and excruciating death, but that cutscene's just playing while he's
No one has been
going
able to
through this
stop the
area.
mimics from multiplying since they broke containment.
All right, so next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick up the glue gun and some ammo and a med kit. That's going to be pretty useful for the rest of the run. I'm also kind of sliding along the ground a lot. This is to maintain stamina, because I don't lose very much speed while I'm sliding, but I don't burn any stamina at the same time. And there I use that neuromod right away, because if I use that immediately after picking it up, that also skips a small cutscene where we see Morgan kind of look at it and then stick the needle into her eye.
Ah,
We don't want to see that.
no.
No,
Or maybe you do. That'd be cool.
maybe. All right, so I'm going to check this guy, add some ammo and a med kit. That's pretty good.
Ready for your first real view of the world?
All right, so unlike any %, which would have clipped into the main elevator shaft and left this area by now, I'm going to come over here and open up that, get a recycler grenade, which is very important for this route. And another med kit there just for safety.
questions.
I'm just headed up to my office. And it helps that I already know the codes for most of these things.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
quick save right there.
This has been your home for the last 3 years. The video should be on your
Yeah,
workstation.
so I'm going to start a cutscene here that locks me inside of the office. And while that's playing, I'm going to pick up a bunch of junk and recycle it. And recycle it. I'm going to come over here. And this door is in the way, so I'm just going to do this. And that door is not there anymore. No. Okay,
It's right there.
It's right there. So that's what we call door displacement, and it's a weird property of the glue and doors on the original patch of the game, where when you shoot glue onto a door, the hitbox of the glue and the door kind of merge into one thing, and then you throw a recycler grenade at it, and what happens then is it tries to pull the glue off of the door, but because it can't do that, it just pulls the entire door out of its frame.
And it's pretty crazy because we're going to see some backtracking later in the run, and those doors are just stuck in their new location for the rest of the run.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
never go back.
Yeah, once they're out, they're out. All right, so I'm pretty much just running around and collecting things right now because, like I said, I kind of broke out of a cutscene that was playing up in the office, but I can't progress the game until that cutscene is done. So what I can do is just run around and collect some things that are going to speed up the run afterwards.
Nice.
I thought I found every one of those damn radios. Sorry, but I can't let you listen to that. Not
So
until
here
I've
we're
had
getting
a
some
chance to
dialogue where
explain
Alex has
everything
kind of
in person.
interrupted the video that we supposedly were watching up in the office.
Tight. Please.
So that leads to the next quest line. But first, I picked up a few more neuromods. So I'm going to use those to get mobility 2 and also repair 1. So with mobility 2, I now have the fastest running speed that you can get in this game. I also have more stamina to use for running around, and I can jump a lot higher.
Alex cut us off from the Looking Glass servers. Time to improvise. I suggest you search Dr. Calvino's workshop
So,
in the hardware
like I said,
labs.
because I'm in this cutscene, I just have to wait here. I'll see an objective marker up in the top left of the screen, and that's when I'll know I can move on to the
I'm
next
looking
area.
for another way to help you in
If
the
I leave
meantime.
before that comes up, I can go into the next area and still do everything, but when I come back here, it's not going to recognize that I actually did it. So I just need to wait for that. All right, so now we're coming into hardware labs. This is still a part where, okay, there's a little bit of the quest line I have to complete in order to progress the game, but I'm also collecting some items. First thing, I'm just going to glue that to get it out of the way. Jump up here, and make sure he stays over there. So a lot of what I'm collecting are these recycler grenades that I mentioned earlier for door displacements. I'm going to need a lot of them because there are a lot of doors that I would like to get out of the way.
A lot of the station tech starts here. Lab equipment, special parts requests, prototypes.
Another couple of
This should
recyclers
be
up there,
enough to fix
and then
your
down
Looking Glass
here,
terminal from Dr. Calvino's workshop.
some crafting materials. Those are going to be useful in a little bit. And that crate, oh, that was an extra recycler. That crate back there is another one. It's a 50-50 chance. It's either an EMP grenade or a recycler. So it's nice to have an extra recycler. So we can get that door out of the way.
Calvino probably has a key card. You can locate him.
Nice.
There we go.
Or what's
Yeah.
left of him. With the
You
security
can never really
roster.
tell where the doors are going to go when you do this. Sometimes they just completely go away. Sometimes they just get stuck right there and they're still in your way. So this gave me 1112. So let's go here, hit 1112, and we fixed all of the monitors that Alex shut off a little bit ago.
Nice.
With this, mostly for the Psy-Hypo.
Nice work, Morgan. The Looking Glass screens are
Over here,
online again.
Neuromod.
Head back to your office as soon as you can. It's important you hear the rest of
And
your
now I'm just
message.
headed back up to my office.
Ah, loading screens.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now that I've got the computers fixed, I need to get back to my office to sort of resume the cutscene that I was watching earlier. Store in the way. And we got some mimics to deal with. They're mainly just annoying. So I'm going to recycle this, and I'm going to pick up all this other stuff that I left here from the last time I recycled.
You have to destroy Talos 1.
Now, I don't have quite enough materials, so I'm going to do this other thing where I'm going to put 6 of one of these and 7 of the other in here. And I'm just going to split the stack a few times.
Yeah, the more he splits it, the more effective this becomes.
And for some reason, on the original version of the game, now I have 16 and 15 of those. Because for whatever reason, when you split the stacks, it just gives you more than what you put in. So I can use that and just make a whole bunch of ammo for the shotgun, which is going to be really useful for the rest of the run.
Alex will try to stop
I can do one more.
He's allergic to failure. Too proud to go back to Mom and Dad with his tail between his legs.
And there I am.
So, it's up to you now.
Looking nice.
Good luck. Told you wouldn't like it.
Surprise, that was also a window. Alright, so the next area I need to go to is Psychotronics, but I can't get there yet because I don't have a key. Luckily, January here does have a key. Sorry, January. Right, so now I have the key to Psychotronics, and that's where I'm going to head next. I just drop down here to try and avoid taking some fall damage. Slide around, maintain the stamina. There's the door I needed the key for, and also the one at the bottom. And medkit. Alright, so I'm headed into Psychotronics now, and what I need to do down here is I need to collect the Psychoscope, which is going to be useful later in the run. And then I also need to get to a section of the station called Guts, and the fastest way to do that is to go through Psychotronics.
Psychotronics is the opposite of safe, Morgan.
Okay, so another use of the recycler grenade, other than displacing doors, if I throw it correctly.
Psychotronics is the opposite of safe, Morgan.
So it can also recycle these boxes so that I can get through there.
Is it Michaela?
A whole bunch of mimics. Just shoot at them, get them out of the way, and here we have the Psychoscope. I normally use the Psychoscope to scan enemies and learn some Typhon powers, but we're not going to use any Typhon powers in this run. I also need the Psychoscope to get through this door.
Yeah, and those powers you get from that you could get from scanning don't end up saving more time than they
Nah.
cost, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
So here's another door to displace. This one can be a little bit weird. I also don't want the recycler to get stuck up there.
Morgan, I know I can't make you stay put, but you're gonna die down there if you don't listen to me.
Okay, I went way off to the right.
Make a psychoscope.
That's good.
By scanning the
Nice.
Typhon specimens around you.
That door can do a lot of weird things when you displace it. Like a lot of the times it'll just move a little bit forward or a little bit back and then you still can't get through.
Based on your words, you'll be unstoppable. That's what this is all about, Morgan.
Nope. Can't make it through that one.
More importantly, you'll be able to install Typhon based on your words. You'll be unstoppable.
That looks better.
That's what this is all about,
There
Morgan.
we go.
You spent 3
And
years
over here I'm going to
of
pick
your
up
life
another couple of sets of spare parts.
putting what they can do into us.
Like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of lootable things where what you can get out of them is random. And one thing that I'm going to need later in this run is I'm going to need exactly 6 sets of spare parts. And I do go a little bit out of my way to pick up probably more than I end up needing. But that's mostly just to make sure that I do actually have enough. Just on the off chance that I don't get quite enough. I'm going to loot that guy just for the EMP grenade. That'll be useful a little bit later. Alright, so this is the section of the station called Guts, and it's the first place where we run into microgravity. And normally you're not supposed to be able to fly around in microgravity without having crafted the propulsion system, but I kind of went around that entirely. So the game also just sort of assumes that if you've managed to get here, you must already have the propulsion system, so I can fly around anyway. Oh, gotta displace another door. These ones usually are pretty consistent. And this door can be mean when it wants to.
Nice, nice, nice.
The electricity firing off around that door has a chance that it'll just zap you straight off to the side into the wall and you take a whole bunch of damage. Can I get through here? Oh, okay. It's fine.
Don't let them do this to you.
Yeah, so I just flew into this yellow stuff kind of floating around. That's called coral. And the first time you fly into it, you get that little cutscene. Also a part where I'm going to want an EMP grenade coming up here. So there's this rail running through this area, and the top side of it will accelerate you up, and the underside of it will accelerate you down, which is really handy because I need to get to the bottom of the station right now.
Yeah, you may notice in the right-hand side of the screen, the speed. Usually you only get it up to about 10, but using this you get up to 13 or 14. And then it pushes you away. You have to keep hitting it.
So here I'm going to throw this EMP grenade over at these enemies because they can be quite a problem if they're allowed to get after you. Come on. Alright, one of them saw me. And it's fine. So because of all these door displacements, I've skipped probably about the first half of the game at this point. Right now I'm headed down to the Station Reactor, and a lot of the quests leading up to this part would have kind of pointed out that a lot of the doors on the station are locked because the reactor has been shut down. Of course, I haven't done any of those, and I haven't heard any of the dialogues. But because I can get there anyway, I can just activate the reactor and then open everything up. Also going to come through here, just pick up some extra things. Alright, so now this is life support. I'm not going to be in here very long, just jump over the electrified floor. There's an elevator, but it's slow. I'm just going to jump off, it's faster. And kind of an odd property of this game is that you can cancel all fall damage just by ledge climbing something on the way down. Doesn't matter how far you fall, you just grab a ledge and you're fine.
Sometimes even just hitting on a slope surface, if you don't grab it, you'll still just take no damage.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It's quite the upper body exercise regimen you got going on there, LifeL1ke.
Oh yeah.
See how ripped he is?
Alright. So, still making my way down to the reactor. It's all the way at the very bottom of the entire station. And this is just enough that I won't take fall damage. Just stand here in the fire to get that key.
A little bird told me you plugged a leak in an unconventional manner a few weeks ago.
Use that key to get in here, grab a couple more neuromods, and these Typhon lures.
Care to elaborate?
I'll need those later.
Worse, I'll dunk you in the eel tank.
Alright, so now I'm going to have to displace this door here, because this is yet another door that I'm not supposed to be able to open yet.
Genius. Next time, let's make sure we have enough spare parts to do the job right.
Roger that, boss.
Well, that went somewhere. Usually you can see which way the glue moves and have some kind of idea where the door went. That one was just gone. Alright, drop down here because I need this guy's key and also this. Let's put that there. So I'm going to clear all of these out of the way. We can really make a mess out of trying to displace this door. So this is one of the most difficult doors to displace in the game because, one, it's on top of these stairs, which makes it hard to get a grenade near them. It's also curved. There we go. Okay, we have fixed the reactor.
I know you did not come down here much.
Nice. Yeah, that door clip was really hard.
I can track you.
Good job.
So normally to get in there, I have to flip like all of these switches and solve a puzzle and all kinds of things, but just grab a bunch of stuff there. And this spot right here is why I got Repair 1, so that I can fix this grab shaft to get back out of here.
Power to the lifts.
It's a lot faster than climbing all the way back up.
Of power spikes and leaks in the coolant chamber. Watch yourself on the way back. There could be other structural damage.
Alright, so at this point I'm pretty much just backtracking all the way to Guts, so we've got a few donations. This is a pretty good time for them.
Yeah, totally. So we had a $15 donation towards the Half-Life bonus run incentive. It says, "Come with me if you want to live," from December. Oh, this one's pretty good. We had a $10 donation from Riccio, who says, "I am so excited for this Prey sent run. Prey is one of my favorite games, and I pray that it goes well.
Oh, no.
But I am unprepared for all this speed."
Power's coming back on.
Wow.
I thought you said it was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I can preface it how I want. We also had a $20 donation from Alex119, who says, "Get on with the run, Morgan. You're burning daylight. Have a great run and save the Typhon."
Just slide under that robot. I think we've still got time for a few more.
Yeah, all right. We had a $10 anonymous donation who says, "Prey is an amazing game that deserves all the attention that this gives it. I'm glad that you were able to run it here in the marathon."
Yeah, thank you.
We also had a $10 anonymous donation that says, "I have been loving the new Prey DLC, and I'm excited to see the full game sped through. Good luck and save the Typhon."
Alright, so now I'm just making my way back to Guts. Alright, a lot of this movement in zero gravity is a little bit trickier than it looks because your character likes to keep on going in whatever direction you're already going. Can make some of the turns a little tricky.
It's generally best to just completely stop moving and then
Yeah.
go from there instead of trying to drift.
Yeah, there are a lot of times where it seems like it would be faster to just keep moving the whole time and just try to change your direction, but usually just go flying off somewhere you don't want. So this is a bit of a scary part because those enemies that were chasing me earlier, they still remember that I went through that door, so they're still here. If I can hit the rail, we're okay.
All right.
And we're okay.
That was scary.
Luckily, I pick up a lot of med kits for this. And this one rail, if I hit it, yeah. Sometimes that angled rail gets you a little bit above 14. And sometimes you just lose a lot of speed for no reason. Alright, so what I'm doing now really is just going all the way from the very bottom of the entire station to the very top of the entire station. And I'm about to head into the Arboretum, which is one of the later game areas.
The power plant has been compromised. It's about
So just
time,
over here,
sir.
grab one more recycler, just for good measure.
And if you watch like an any percent run, you'll notice that they just make a beeline straight for this area. So it gives you one of the late game items.
Yeah. So for the 90% run, the item known as the null wave transmitter fabrication plan is just kind of floating out of bounds up here in the Arboretum. And if you have that, you can just craft it and end the game. But I'm going to have to get it a different way. I'm just going to Skyrim up this bit of rocks here. All right.
I won't be joining you. Don't worry, there's no
Okay,
jury.
So this started a little mini cutscene. It's really just that dialogue. So while that's going on, there's a secret door here that I'm going to need to be open later. So I'm just going to get it out of the way now.
My computer. Another video. Give it a look and we'll talk. I'm sending you the password. Assuming you haven't hacked your way in yet.
Alright, so we're going to start up another cutscene just like in the office, or back in my office. And then immediately try to break out of it. The store was giving me a little bit of trouble in practice. Still doesn't want to go. This is why I do that other door first. So I waited to do that other door until after I did this one, and then the other one decided not to work. I'd have a lot of
Nice.
First
a lot of
try.
time lost.
First try.
Just ledge grab there to avoid fall damage. Loot all of this, and then this is the last time I'm going to be going in to upgrade my character. I'm going to grab those because that increases my weapon damage. I'm also going to upgrade the shotgun. And upgrade this. And I actually have 5 of these, which is more than I usually have. I usually only get 3. So this is another spot. I'm just kind of stuck in a cutscene waiting for it to end. So what I'm going to do is run around and collect a lot of things. And this keypad here is the only one that's random from run to run. But because of the quests that the game thinks I've completed, it acts as though I'm far enough into the game that when I get to the Arboretum the first time, Alex just gives me that code, so I don't need to go and find it or guess or anything.
That's so nice of him.
Very considerate.
Yeah. I mean, he is my brother after all.
Or so we think. Could be a mimic.
And here's grab another medkit. Some ammo off of this just because. Come on. Right, then I'm going to run over here, open up this door, just because I'm going to need that to be open later on, and I'm not going to be able to open it from this side. It's going to offload a bunch of junk into this recycler so it's not taking up inventory space. And a little more ammo. One of those, one of those, another one of those. There's also a hidden safe. Get another neuromod. Medkit. I'm gonna call up a medical operator, see if I can just top off my health. I don't really need it, but might as well.
Everything I've done is what you've asked me to do.
And then I'm just gonna do this.
You believe me unless you heard it from your own
Because sometimes these will drop a medkit. I didn't get lucky on that one.
changed you. Not a lot at first, but eventually, the constant stripping of your memory. I didn't know who you were anymore. All I
Oh, there's the door.
Found the door.
Nope.
is to have my sense back so we can finish what we started. The device you mentioned is an advanced version of the null wave. It's the only way to stop the
Ooh,
typhoon
banana.
without destroying everything we've been working toward. We're just missing some scan
It's important to stay hydrated.
to complete the design. Help me finish this, Morgan. And then you can have my arming key. I don't believe you want to use it anymore, but you can have it.
Please smile, chat.
I'll have the chipset for you on my desk. You'll need to upgrade your psychoscope to scan the coral. I'll send you the scan locations.
Alright, so I needed to wait for that cutscene to end to collect this item. And that's going to allow me to use the psychoscope to scan some coral nodes, which I need to do in order to get the data that we need to craft the, to finish the crafting plan for the null wave device. All right, so I'm going out through this door, which I had opened up earlier during that cutscene. The reason I opened up this door earlier, I mean, for one, I have the time to do it, so I do it anyway, but there's a long animation of the airlock opening up.
And luckily, the two things he needs to scan are right next to each other.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
Playing it casually, I actually just scanned one and zoomed the two together versus one. I got lost looking for the third.
Are you in outer space right now, LifeL1ke?
Space?
I feel like this is kind of out of bounds.
I mean, are there really boundaries in space? Right, so almost at the coral nodes, they're just down in here. I'm going to throw a Typhon lure down there just so that these enemies leave me alone. All right, there's the first node down there.
Oops. There we go.
Tried to go too fast. All right, there's the other one.
You're not
All right.
really safe.
So I've got everything I need down here. Now I need to get back up to the Arboretum after this cutscene.
And so what does scanning those get you, LifeL1ke?
So that gets me data on what the coral is, and then we need that in order to be able to properly craft the null wave device so that it can actually affect everything that's in the station.
Some kind of neural tripwire built into the coral. Christ. Morgan, get back to my office. We have to
Right,
get
so
your data
right now
uploaded
he's just telling me to get back to his office, upload the data. He's also going to say that there's a slight problem in that, well, the heads of the corporation that runs this station, for some reason, thinks that things are getting a little out of hand. I don't know where they get that idea from.
Maybe just a little bit.
But their solution to this is to send a mercenary up here to, well, kill everyone.
Oh,
We're going to have to deal with that. All right, so next thing, I'm going to run up to the office and upload the coral data, but that's going to get interrupted. And they're going to tell me that a mercenary named Walter Dahl is now on the station and, well, hunting us. And we know that he is down in life support, but he also has a tech officer who's messing with the computers. That's Casper. And we don't exactly know where Casper is just yet.
I left something for you on my desk that should help.
So what I'm going to have to do right now is go down to the Shuttle Bay, kind of break into Walter's shuttle, and then check and see where Casper is.
Something.
Now, normally in attempts, I would just go through this door, go straight to the Shuttle Bay. Problem is, because I'm supposed to be locked in a cutscene up in the office right now, if I leave early, there's a pretty good chance that the shuttle won't actually spawn in the Shuttle Bay. So I'm going to just sit here and wait for a few seconds till I hear a certain line of dialogue, and then I'll know it's going to work.
there's a trigger on the door, right? So if you cross over it at a later time, you could spawn the shuttle still, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly just that the game thinks I'm still in this cutscene and I shouldn't be able to leave this area yet, so it hasn't quite started loading.
Right.
But anytime after that line of dialogue that begins with one last thing plays, the shuttle should spawn.
Nice.
First thing though, the elevator's not working, and that is because of this thing. So I need to kill this thing in order to use the elevator. It'd be really nice if he was over closer to the elevator. There we go. So now the elevator works.
Regardless, we're not getting this coral data through until we do something about it. I don't like it, but you're gonna have to get into his command
Alright, so
shuttle.
now after this point we have access to the main elevator for the rest of the run, which is pretty handy. There's also a chance, depending on where we find out Casper spawns, that I won't actually need this elevator again. But we'll see.
I heard the announcement. No, I will not give you up. You are there for me. I am here for you. If you'd indulge me, I have a proposal that could get us.
Alright, so now we're at the Shuttle Bay. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of a jump here to skip extending the bridge over to the shuttle. Any second now.
This is a pretty tight jump too, right?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Mostly because you need to get a running start off of this thing. And just grab the edge there.
Nice.
Then, just drop down here and hit the button to open the door from the outside. Okay. All right, so hitting that transfer file button in there means that now I'm going to get a bit of dialogue, and that will tell me where Casper has spawned. But I don't really want to wait through the dialogue for it to actually tell me. So what I can do is leave the area, and what this is going to do is it's going to cause this bit of dialogue that had started to restart. And the game just sort of thinks that if the dialogue is restarting, you must have already heard the whole thing at least once. And if you've heard the whole thing at least once, it puts the information from that into my quest log. So just get to open that up and see that Casper is at LifeL1ke Exterior, which is actually the fastest spawn he can get, which is really nice.
Shoutouts to the creeper who never gets at spawn.
Yeah, I got it 2 practice runs in a row before I came here. He was really upset.
And so what's the reason why we're going after Casper first, LifeL1ke? Could you elaborate on that?
So we need to deal with both Walter Dahl and with Casper, and what's the nice thing is that dealing with Casper causes Walter to leave where he is. So we know that he's in life support right now, but that's really far out of the way. If I kill Casper, that's going to cause Walter Dahl to move up to the Arboretum, and he's going to be standing right outside that safe room door that I displaced earlier. And that's also really convenient because after I've dealt with Casper, Alex is now going to spawn in that safe room. And that's really important because he has the crafting plan for the Null Wave, which is what I need in order to finish the run. It just works out really nicely that dealing with Casper, then we come up here, and everything else that we need is just right there waiting for us. So I just need to run through here, go back out through that same airlock I opened earlier. There's a bit of chaos because Walter also brought a whole bunch of monitors, and they are shooting lasers at everything, and those lasers hurt a lot. And so with the LifeL1ke Exterior spawn for Casper, there's 2 places he can be. One of them is really close to the airlock, and that's the one I want. The other one's really far away. But a nice thing with this is that this is going to create an autosave as soon as I get out here. And I can tell based on the direction of the indicator which spawn that he's at, because if that was pointing straight down, I know that he's at the one that's really far away. And if it's down to the right, that's the one that I want. And this should be a pretty quick fight with them because I've got more upgraded weapons than I'm used to. So I'll make a little save there. And this is Casper. And that was Casper. So that actually can be a really tricky spawn because since we're in space, if he just kind of loses power, he can bounce all over the place, and you have to chase him down, and it's a pain.
Just real quickly here, when do we need to cut off the incentive for the save or kill the Typhon?
I'm not sure.
All right.
Morgan, Dahl is breathing down my neck. I don't know how much longer. Shit.
All right, so here's Walter Dahl. And just zap him and he's down. There's Alex. All right, now I've got the fabrication plan, which is all I need.
Then we can see about removing his neuromod and hopefully gaining his shuttle in the process.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with any percent, after they had picked up this fabrication plan, they would have just gone to the recycler and the crafting station up here in Arboretum. The reason we can't do that in this route is because specifically the copy of the fabrication plan that I pick up off of Alex causes the Arboretum to lose power, and so I can't actually use those stations. So what I'm going to do instead is go down to Psychotronics and use them there. Because conveniently I need to place the null wave device in Psychotronics. So it's just really convenient that a crafting station is right on the way. So I was worried for a second there that Typhon was too close to the door. One of their properties is that they have kind of an electromagnetic field around them, and they just scramble buttons like the ones on those doors. If he was standing too close, I wouldn't have been able to go through that door. It's not a big problem, but it loses some time. All right, so I'm just run through here again. So then the crafting station is right over here. Also want to use that. That's Mimic. Yeah, so when you pick this up, that animation of looking at it just stops you from moving.
Psychotronics in the original containment cylinder.
Somewhere to the right, didn't it? Yeah.
We'll override the entire coral network with our own.
So like I mentioned earlier, all of these doors are still displaced in exactly the same way that they were earlier. So I can just go through them the same way. Alright, so just get to fly over here and place the null wave.
No, nothing that interferes with memory formation.
I was hoping he was going to chase me into zero gravity. It's really funny when they do that because the AI for all NPCs in this game just does not know how to handle anti-gravity, so if he flew in there, he'd just kind of shut off. And they just float there. It's pretty funny.
And so now he's going back in the guts to get up to Arboretum once again.
Yep. This is very close to the end of the run. I just have to get back up to the Arboretum and then, hit the button to activate the null wave. Yeah, there's really not much else that can... Well, I was going to say there isn't really much else that can go wrong at this point, but... Just getting bounced off of everything right now.
Unfortunately, even if you just get like a small little bump, you go flying feet.
Yeah. Don't worry, that door's not there anymore. That time I got tapped. I have a lot of medkits, though. This door, though, I remember did something weird.
Yeah, I think you have to be lower.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to ride the conveyor belt once again.
Yeah, just get to bump it a couple of times here. Don't want to fly into that. Oh.
Yep. Whoops.
It's fine. There's. Okay. I was gonna say there's an autosave right by there, but I guess my quick save kind of blocked it. It can be weird like that sometimes.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure.
All right. I had a $250 anonymous donation. He says, I'm sad that I'm going to miss the TaskBot Pokemon Star Wars block coming up tomorrow night. I'm happy, though, that I'm able to see Prey right now. So thanks, LifeL1ke. I am loving this run.
Thank you. I quite enjoy doing this run.
And most people who run Prey right now is primarily any %, but people are starting to branch off into no out-of-bounds items and no out-of-bounds. So if you're looking to run the game, join the Discord. More than happy to help.
Yeah, there's always people in there that are more than willing to answer questions. So like I mentioned earlier, the gravity is shut off in here now, so get to try and fly through the Arboretum without gravity. Okay. I just gotta get in here.
Nice.
All right, so time is coming up really soon. All I've got left to do is run in here and hit the button, and then it'll be when the cutscene starts playing after that. All right, there's the button. All right, and time.
Nice run, man.
Thanks. Yeah, what was the time on that?
44:30.
Nice. That was better than I was hoping for. That was a really nice run. So yeah, that was Prey with no out of bounds. Yeah, like we were saying, if anybody's interested in running this, feel free to join the Discord. There's always people in there willing to help. Too many people in the Prey community to shout out, but one in particular I do want to do was Mr. Monkey, who made the original route for this category, and I pretty literally wouldn't be here without him.
It's immortality.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right. Thank you so much for that awesome run, LifeL1ke, of Prey No Out of Bounds. We're going to go ahead and... Actually, I'm going to read a quick donation here, and then we're going to move on to a quick ad break. We had a $15 donation from Valentine, who says, Prey is one of my favorite games of all time. The sound, the story, the level design, the detail and choices in how you play. But most of all, I really like the mimics because they're super cute, and I love them. Thank you so much for that donation. We're going to go ahead and run a couple quick ads here, so we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2018. I am Skybills. I'm going to be your host for the Mario block. I hope you all are as excited as I am. We'll get to introing our runners in a second, but for right now, a couple more donations here. We have a $200 donation from Peaches Danny that says, "My husband and I look forward to GDQ and are happy to be able to donate to such a great cause. We are lucky enough to be home all week for this event, sharing the love of gaming with our newborn. May he also have our gamer spirit, and good luck to all runners." $15 donation from Connor the Red. "Keep up the amazing work, you beautiful people. Much love from Australia." $50 donation from Xerox Fiend. "So excited to watch my favorite plumbers destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. Good luck. P.S. I think it's faster if you hit the bottom of the flagpole." Very important Mario incentive I want to remind you all of. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bonus tracks, that is the current incentive right now that we're going for. We're roughly 6,500 out of 30,000, so if you want to see those bonus tracks later on after the Mario block, please donate towards those. $25 from Bahamut X99. "I've only recently gotten into watching speedrunning on Twitch, but I've become a big fan. Go Cosmic." $5 donation from Matthew. "Hello from the front row. Had to be here for the Mario block, and I can't wait to see Pooh shred Mitch down to Hot Pocket filling during the Mario 3 race. Oh my." $10 donation from Maximilian. "Eager to see the task bot later in the week." $25 donation from Project Zero. "Happy to keep on giving, especially after that amazing prey run." $100 donation from Solomon. "Awesome runs this year. I love watching my favorite games get beaten so thoroughly." $100 donation from Slime Andrews. "Prey was passed over by a lot of people, so it's amazing to see one of my favorite games of the last few years getting smashed at SGDQ. Good luck to the runner." $100 donation from Fanbelt. No comment. $150 donation from Anonymous. Thank you. $50.50 donation from Sandalphon. Open the door, get on the floor, everyone walk the dinosaur. $30 from Uncertain0200. Prey is one of my favorite games, and I cannot wait to watch this run while supporting such a great cause. $25 donation from Adam132 that says Half-Life. And speaking of Half-Life, remember, Half-Life is our next bonus game incentive. We're currently $18,000 out of $50,000 into that. So if you want to see Half-Life any percent, be sure to get those donations in. $20 from Adana55. Super excited for the Super Mario block, as it was the first video game I picked up over 25 years ago, and it's been a match made in heaven ever since. Thank you to all you fantastic people who made this possible every year. $10 from London B415. Hello, everyone. Good luck for the run. Hey, Bowser, don't jump to the right, please. $50 from Unholy Donut. I absolutely love the GDQ events, and I am so excited for the Mario block coming up. Love the event, and I love seeing what the gaming community can accomplish. Big thanks to everyone that helps make this happen. $25 from Krastic. So glad I get to watch Sky and Pooh at SGDQ. $100 from The Elder Spork. Best block of SGDQ. Mario block hype. Good luck to the Warbless guys, but go Roy. All right.